Hello students, I welcome you all in my next lecture which is on Unit 3 Integral Calculus. This is my lecture number 6 on the topic error function. So till now we have covered the reduction formulae, beta and gamma function, also the differentiation under integral sign, that is DOIs. So as like your beta and gamma function, error function is also one of the special integral function that we are going to see in our today's lecture. So before I start, I request to all my students, my colleagues, my friends to subscribe our YouTube channel, which is MathsMania CCCOE. So let's start with the first definition, that is error function. So as I already told you that this is one of the special kind of integral function. So the definition is like this. The error function of x is denoted by ERF of x in small letters and defined as the error function of x is equal to 2 by root pi integration from 0 to x e raised to minus u square du. So actually the error function is the integral of the exponential function, which is e raised to minus u square. And if you see the graph of this function, so the graph is like this. Okay? So from graph, you can easily see that if I put x is equal to 0, we'll get value as 0. If I consider x tends to infinity, the error function takes value as 1. If I take x as minus infinity, the error function takes value as minus 1. So these values you can find directly from integral also, or you can use this graph to remember at least these three values: for 0, for plus infinity, and for minus infinity. There is one note that this integral actually occurs in probability statistics. Okay, majorly this type of integral you can see in statistics and also in partial differential equation. Now next definition, there is one more function which is associated with this error function, and that function is called as complement error function. It is very similar to your probability function. Okay, complement of probability function. As we know that the P of A is the probability of given event A, then the 1 minus P of A actually gives you the complement of the probability function. In same manner, if error function of x is your given function, then its complement is 1 minus error function of x. And in terms of integral, this can be written as the complement error function of x, okay, denoted by ERFC of x is equal to 2 by root pi integration from x to infinity e raised to minus u square du. You can see the only difference between this error function and complement error function is in the limits of the integral. In case of error function, your limits are from 0 to x, and in case of complement error function, your limits are from x to infinity. And the graph is like this, and from graph you can see the complement error function of 0 means when x is 0, it takes value as 0. The complement error function is 0 when I take x as x tends to infinity. For x is equal to 0, the complement error function takes value 1, and for x is equal to minus infinity, your complement error function takes value as 2. These special values you need in next remark, that is the properties of error and complement error function. You can see your first result is this, where the error function of minus infinity is minus 1, the error function of 0 is 0, error function of infinity is 1, the complement error function of minus infinity is 2, 0 is 1, and infinity is 0. These values you can directly find from the integral also, or you can remember these values from graph also. But these are the special values related with your error function and complement error. Now let's go to the next property. So now our next property is what is the relation between this error function and complement error function. I already told you this relation while defining the complement error function. That complement error function is equal to 1 minus the error function of x. So therefore your result is like this: the error function of x plus the complement error function of x is equal to 1 for all values of x. Now let's see the proof of this famous relation. So for this proof, first consider your x is non-negative real number, that is x is greater than or equal to 0. And now consider the LHS, that is error function of x plus complement error function of x. Replace these values by the corresponding integral, that is 2 by root pi 0 to x e raised to minus u square du. This is your error function of x, plus 2 by root pi x to infinity e raised to minus u square du. This is your complement error function of x. Here, as my x is positive, this integration from 0 to x, correct, and x to infinity can combine into a single integral, which is from 0 to infinity. So this the combination of these two integral is actually 2 by root pi integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus u square du. And if you see the definition of error function, this is actually your error function. See, only where your x, the value of x is infinity. Therefore, this can be written as error function of x. The error function of x, this can be written as error function of infinity, and the error function of infinity from first property is 1. Okay. Therefore, LHS is equal to RHS in this first case. Now consider the second case where my x is less equal 0. Okay. So here my x is negative, so I consider the negative value for x. So that value is, say, x is equal to minus y. And now consider the LHS. So LHS is equal to error function of x plus error complement error function of x, which is equal to, put x is equal to minus y. We will get error function of minus y plus complement error function of minus y. Now replace these values by the corresponding integral. So this is actually the error function of minus y. Just we have to consider the upper limit as this bracket value. Right? And now this is the definition of complement error function, where the lower limit is the bracket value. Now, so here I keep this first integral as it is, 2 by root pi 0 to minus pi e raised to minus u square du. And now I split this second integral in two parts. Okay, how I do this? Here your limits are from minus y to infinity, correct? So in between 0 is there. Therefore, I split this minus y to infinity integral in two parts, where first part is from minus y to 0, correct? The second part is from 0 to infinity. And now if you see this first and second integral, if you see this two integral, okay, the first integral, the only difference is in limits, where the limits of first integral is from 0 to y, and limits of second integral is from minus y to 0. So you can see these limits are exactly in reverse. Therefore, these two integral get cancelled with each other, and at then you will get only this value, that is 2 by root pi integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus u square, and this value is e raised to minus this value is error function of infinity, that is equal to 1. That gives you the RHS. So this is all about our this is all about our second result, that is error function of x plus error function of plus complement error function of x is equal to 1. Now the third result, which is the error function is odd function. It means the f of minus x, if I replace x by minus x, we will get the minus times f of x. So now let's try to prove this part. So first consider the f of minus x, that is the error function of minus x, which is equal to 2 by root pi 0 to, just replace upper limit by this bracket value, e raised to minus u square du. Now use one substitution, that is u is equal to minus t, and convert this given integral in terms of t. So if u equal to minus t, du become minus dt, and the limits of t are now from 0 to x. Okay, you can see this. If I put x is equal to 0, okay, if I put u equal to 0, the corresponding t is also 0. If I put u equal to minus x, the corresponding t become plus x. Therefore, your new limits are from 0 to x, 2 by root pi as it is, because it's a constant term, e raised to u, the value of u is minus t, but its square become plus again. So e raised to minus t square, the value of du is minus dt. Now you can take this minus outside to this integral, and the remaining part is actually the error function of x. And this is nothing but minus times f of x. Okay, so minus is there. So this is nothing but the minus times f of x. Therefore, f of minus x is equal to minus times f of x. Therefore, this error function is odd function. So what about the complement error function? So similarly, if you try for the complement error function, you can see the complement error function is neither even nor odd function. Okay. So this is up to you how you can prove this. Now let's discuss the fourth property of this error function, which is the expansion of error function in a series. Okay. I think you already are familiar with some of the Maclaurin series expansion of some standard functions, which are like say exponential function e raised to x, sin x, cos x, tan x, logarithmic function 1 upon 1 plus x, 1 upon 1 minus x. So in similar fashion, now we have to find the expansion of error function of x. So now let's do it. So to do this, first consider the Maclaurin series expansion of exponential function. Okay, this is a very famous result, and that part you already done in your first semester in course M1. So the expansion of e raised to minus t is 1 minus t plus t square by 2 factorial minus t cube by 3 factorial plus e raised to 4 by 4 factorial and so on. Okay, alternatively plus and minus sign are there. Now consider the error function of x, whose definition is 2 by root pi 0 to x e raised to minus u squared du. This is your exponential function of the term like e raised to minus t. So replace this value by the corresponding Maclaurin series. So you will get 1 minus u square. Just put t equal to u square. So 1 minus u square. T square means u raised to 4 upon 2 factorial. T cube means u raised to 6 upon 3 factorial. Bracket complete du. Now integrate each term. So the integration of 1 is u. The integration of u square is u cube by 3. The integration of u raised to 4 is u raised to 5 by 5. So the term becomes 10. Already there is 2 in the multiplication. The integration of u raised to 6 is u raised to 7 by 7. So 7 into 3 factorial become 42. Now consider limits are from 0 to x. So if you complete this, you will get the series expansion of error function of x as 2 by root pi x minus x cube by 3 plus x raised to 5 by 10 minus x raised to 7 by 42 plus so on. So this is all about the series expansion of error function. But from this, how you can find this series expansion for complement error function? And to do this, we are going to use this second property, which is error function of x plus complement error function of x is equal to 1. From this result, you can write the complement error function as 1 minus the error function of x. So replace this error function of x by the corresponding series. This gives you this series expansion for complement error function. So this series expansion for complement error function is 1 minus just the series expansion of error function. So now we have the series expansion for both function, for error function of x also and for complement error function of x also. Now let's try the derivative. So next part is a differentiation of this error function. So in this case, we will consider the general error function, general type of error function, that is error function of a x raised to n. We are not going to consider only error function of x. Instead of consider the general form, that is error function of a, where a is some constant into x raised to n. So in this case, the definition of error function of ax raised to n is 2 by root pi 0 to, just replace the upper limit by this bracket term ax raised to n e raised to minus u square du. Now let's take the derivative of this error function. Okay? So derivative of this error function is nothing but the derivative of this integral function. And we know that how to find the derivative of integral function. To do this, actually we need to use the Leibniz rule of Dewey's. So by Leibniz rule of Dewey's, this derivative is this. So I explain one more time this Leibniz rule. So in Leibniz rule, remember there are 3 terms. How to apply this Leibniz rule for any given integral. So in Leibniz rule, there are 3 terms: first, second, and third. So how you write this first term? In first term, you have to write the same integral as it is. So now this is our given integral. You have to write the same integral as it is. Just replace this integral function, means e raised to minus u square. Just replace this integral function by their partial derivative, okay, with respect to the x. So in first term, I consider the remaining part as it is 2 by root pi 0 to x raised to n 0 to x raised to n. Now just replace this function by their partial derivative. Now plus. Now I will explain the second term. In second term, consider this function as it is. Just replace u by the upper limit. So function as it is. Replace u. What is the value of u? Replace u by the upper limit. So what is the value of u? Ax raised to n. So this term become e raised to minus u square means ax raised to n square, and multiply by derivative of this upper limit. So again explain the second term. In second term, we have to consider the derivative of upper limit, multiply by function itself, but in function replace u by the upper limit. Now in third term, it is very similar to your second term. In third term, just give the minus sign and multiply in function just put u equal to lower limit and multiply by the derivative of the lower limit. So that term become 0 because derivative of 0 is 0. Also, so if you simplify this, you can see partial derivative of e raised to minus u square. So while differentiating with respect to x, all other terms are constant. Therefore, e raised to minus u square is also constant. Therefore, value of this first term is 0. Value of this third term is 0. So only term which is remaining is this second term. So you can say this calculation. So the derivative of error function of ax raised to n is equal to 2 by root pi. The derivative of ax raised to n, that is n ax raised to n minus 1, e raised to minus ax raised to n whole square minus 0. So if you simplify this, you will get this 2 by root pi n ax raised to n minus 1 e raised to minus a x raised to n bracket square. But to remember this formula, okay, this you can remember in this way. So in general, the derivative of error function of ax raised to n is equal to 2 by root pi, the first factor, multiply by derivative of the bracket term. So bracket term is ax raised to n. So its derivative, and multiply by e raised to minus that bracket term whole square. So e raised to minus that bracket term whole square. So remember this formula in this fashion. So there are totally 3 terms: 2 by root pi, first factor, derivative of bracket term, multiply by e raised to minus u square, where u equal to this bracket value. Now same question. So now we have the derivative of error function. How you can find the derivative of this complement error functions? And to do this, again we will use the second property, that is error function of x plus complement error function of x is equal to 1. But here I consider the value of x as ax raised to n. So this become error function of ax raised to n plus complement error function of ax raised to n is equal to 1. Now let's take the derivative with respect to x on both sides. So this gives you the derivative of error function of ax raised to n. The derivative of complement error function of ax raised to n is equal to derivative of 1 is 0. This gives you the derivative of complement error function, which is equal to minus times the derivative of error function. Or you can see these two values are almost equal. The only difference is minus sign. So this is all about the derivative of error and complement error function. And now next part is, now we have to see the integration of the error function. But here we will consider a definite integral, that is from 0 to t only, of error function of ax. So let's try this. So the integration from 0 to t in error function of ax dx is equal to, so so we try this integral, okay, by splitting this function, by considering this function as this function multiplied by 1. Okay, so there so one is the multiplying factor, that is the usual multiplying factor for any given function. So here I split this function as the error function of x multiplied by 1, where this first function is my u function for by parts rule, and the second function is my v function for the by parts rule. And if I apply it, is this integral is very similar to your logarithmic integral. Okay, so for logarithmic function also, you split that function as log x multiplied by 1. Now you become the first function, we become the second function. So in similar manner, we will try the integration of error function of x. So by parts rule, which I mentioned here, so use this rule, we'll get the first function, that is error function of x as it is, multiplied by integration of second, bracket complete, one the integration of 1 is x, where limits from 0 to t, minus integration from 0 to t, derivative of first, that is d by dx of error function of x, multiplied by integration of second into dx. this result, and this result is actually the by parts rule of integration, okay, which I mentioned here. By parts rule for definite case. Now let's do the simplification. So in first term, just put the upper limit and lower limit. So this term becomes 0 for the lower limit. So only you will have the upper limit, which is t raised t multiplied by error function of at minus 0 to t as it is derivative of error function. So to find this derivative, use this result, which I find in fifth property. So the derivative of error function can be written as first factor is 2 by root pi, 2 by root pi, multiplied by derivative of bracket term, which is 1, multiplied by e raised to minus u square, where u equal to bracket term, which is ax, multiplied by x as it is dx. So from this, you can take this 2a upon root pi, which is a constant. So take this constant outside this integral. So 2a by root pi, and in bracket you will have now x into e raised to minus ax whole square. Now to adjust the derivative of this minus ax whole square, I multiply and divide this integral by minus 2a square. So multiply and divide this integral by minus 2a square. Now you can put this power, that is minus ax whole square, is equal to u. So this implies minus 2a square x dx is equal to du. So if you see the table, so from table you can see the limits of x are from 0 to t, okay, but your new limits are from now 0 to minus at whole square. If I put x is equal to 0, you can see this table from the equation minus x square equal to u. So if I put x is equal to 0, u becomes 0. If I put x is equal to t, this u become minus at whole square. And now write down the given integral. So on left hand side, you will have the integration of 0 to t error function of ax dx is equal to the first term as it is t error function of at plus. So this simplification is a upon 1 upon a root pi. Okay. Integration from, so your new limits are from 0 to minus at square, 0 to minus at square e raised to u du. This okay. So to refer this step, you can check the previous equation. Okay. Now 1 upon a root pi as it is, the integration of e raised to u is e raised to u, where limits are from 0 to minus at square. So just put upper limit and lower limit, you will have this final result. So this is the integration of error function from 0 to t. And similarly, if you try for the complement error function, so the integration of complement error function is this 0 to t error function of ax dx is equal to t complement error function of at plus 1 upon a root pi 1 minus e raised to minus at square. So the only difference is there in the sign of these two terms. For complement, you will have 1 minus, and for error function, you will have exponential minus 1. So you can try this integral similar to this error function. Now let's see some 3 examples. So our first question is, prove that the complement error function of minus x plus complement error function of x is equal to. From this, you can easily see that this complement error function is not an odd function, because if it is an odd function, this value must be 0, because both values are same. So your answer must be 0. So from this result also, you can say that this complement error function is neither even nor odd function. Now let's try to prove this result. To prove this, we have that famous property from property 2, which is error function of x plus complement error function of x is always equal to 1. So you can assign any value for x. So let's assign x is equal to minus x. So this become error function of minus x plus complement error function of minus x is equal to 1. But error function is the odd function. So the error function of minus x can be written as error function of x. So if I put in equation 2, you will get the minus times error function of x plus complement error function of minus x is equal to 1. Correct? This implies the complement error function of minus x is equal to 1 plus error function of x. Again, replace the error function of x by its value, which is 1 minus error function of x from equation 1. Okay. So it becomes the 2 minus the complement error function of x. So if I rearrange the terms, we will get the complement error function of minus x plus complement error function of x is equal to 2. Consider the second theory equation in which we have to prove that, we have to show that integration from 0 to infinity e raised to minus x square minus 2bx dx is equal to root pi by 2 e raised to b square in bracket 1 minus error function of b. So just focus on this LHS. This is our given integral and we have to find this value in terms of error function. This is our simple approach. We have given one integral, we have to find the value of this integral in terms of error function. So in solution, this is the definition of error function. So at the end, we need to represent, or at the end we need to write the given integral in terms of e raised to minus u square. Whenever you write this given integral in terms of e raised to minus u square, only in that case we'll get the corresponding answer in terms of error function. To do this, okay, what we do? We will do some adjustment here in that power. So this e raised to minus x square 2bx, this term can be written as minus x square 2bx plus b square and minus b square. So at then we add 0 to that term. Just to convert this term into a perfect square, because in error function here you can see a perfect square e raised to minus u square. So add plus b square and minus b square. So this first value become minus of x plus b whole square, and the second b square is as it is. Now e raised to x plus y can be written as e raised to x into e raised to y. So this term become e raised to b square, and you can take this outside to the given integral, because our given integral is with respect to x. So in that case, e raised to b square become constant. And in bracket, you will have e raised to minus x plus b whole square as it is. So this is our initial approach. To write the value of this given integral in terms of error function, we need to write this integral value in terms of e raised to minus u square. So now we are very close to that. Just here, instead of x plus b, we want here u. So use that substitution, put x plus b equal to u. This implies dx is equal to du. The limits of x are 0 to infinity. The limits of u are then from b to infinity. So this integral become e raised to b square, b to infinity, e raised to minus u square du. So we got that term, okay, which actually gives the answer in terms of error function. So e raised to minus u square du. But this value is actually what? E raised to b square root pi by 2 the complement error function of b. You can see this part from equation 1. So the definition of complement error function is 2 by root pi x to infinity e raised to minus u square du. So in this case, our x is b. Therefore, your answer is 2 by root pi. We have to shift in LHS. So we will get root pi by 2 complement error function of b. But here we want this answer in terms of error function only. So again, use that second property. So this can be written as e raised root pi by 2 as it is, e raised to b square. The value of complement error function of b is equal to 1 minus error function of b. Hence proved our given answer. So again, tell you the approach of this given question. I have given some integral. We have to find this value in terms of error function. But if you see the definition of error function, in definition of error function, you will find this term, which is x e raised to minus u square. Okay, so at then you have to adjust this integral function in terms of e raised to minus u square. Okay. And to do this, we will do this adjustment, add plus b square minus b square, and after that just put x plus b equal to u, so that you will get that error function integral function. Now let's see the last question from this topic. The question is like this: alpha of x is equal to under root of 2 by pi 0 to x e raised to minus b square by 2 dt. Then show that error function of x is equal to alpha of x root. So in this question, the alpha is already defined. Okay? And we have to show that the value of alpha at x root 2 is equal to actually the error function of x. So in solution, what is given? The alpha of x is equal to under root of 2 by root pi 0 to x e raised to minus t square by 2 dt. First, calculate the RHS of this question. So the RHS is alpha of x root 2. So if alpha of x is equal to this, then alpha of x root 2 become under root of 2 by pi. If alpha of x, for alpha of x, just replace upper limit by this x. For alpha x root 2, just replace upper limit by this x root. So the alpha of x root 2 is equal to under root of 2 by 2 by pi 0 to x root 2 e raised to minus t square by 2 dt. Now we will show that this value is equal to the error function of x, that means our LHS. So to convert this integral in terms of error function, anyhow we have to adjust here e raised to minus u square term. That same part, yeah, same logic we already used in previous question. So to adjust here e raised to minus u square, we will put t by root 2 is equal to u. That is dt by root 2 is equal to du. This implies your dt is equal to under root of 2 du. And if you see the table, so here t vary from 0 to x root 2, the corresponding u. When t is 0, u is 0 from this. When t is 0, u is 0. And when t is equal to x root 2, your u become x. So this alpha of x root 2 is equal to, this constant term is as it is 2 by root pi, 2 by root pi. Now your new limits are from 0 to x e raised to minus, now this term t square by 2, t by root 2 equal to u. It implies t square by 2 become u square. So this become e raised to minus u square. Your dt is root 2 du, correct? Now root 2 times 2 become 2 by become 2. So this constant term is 2 by root pi. In bracket you will have 0 to x e raised to minus u square du, and that is nothing but your error. So this is the actual definition of error function, 2 by root pi 0 to x e raised to minus u square du. So hence LHS is